Hi, my name is Cheryl and welcome to another Floral Share video. So in this series, we have been trying to find eco-friendly replacements to flower foam. If this idea is new to you, there are many folks that would prefer to avoid this product, mainly because it breaks down into little micro bits, and that can harm the environment. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this series, is because I want to be able to make the best decisions for myself and give you as many options as possible. We have done chicken wire and we've done pillows and cages. And today we're going to look at a grid system. Now there's many different types of grids out there. It can be made of metal, plastic, tape, even twigs. But today we're going to look at a pre-made wire flower grid. This might be new to you. It was new to me until I was reading this book called Flowers for Ornament and Decoration. It was published in 1862. So that means 150 years ago, they were making and using this product. I find that really exciting. So I can't wait to show you how to use a floral grid. Let's get started. The supply list that you'll need for today's project will always start with our handy dandy snips. And then I chose a square vase. I thought it'd be a little bit unusual to use a square vase with a round grid. So we'll need our floral grid. And I'm going to use a little bit of clear tape. Now I know I usually use the green waterproof tape, but I wanted to keep this especially delicate today. So we're going to use this clear waterproof tape. And because I wanted to do something that was really light and summery, I just decided to do a few little greens that I got out of my Kimberly fern, some Queen Anne's lace, some Nigella. It's gorgeous, I love this. Chamomile, one of my new ultimate favorites. Some lovely little Veronica. Look at the movement on this. Oh, gorgeous. An all-time favorite, love the stalk, so sweet. And then star of the show, these ranunculus. Oh, fabulous. I can't wait to get started. All right, so we have our 5 by 5 by 5 cube, and we're going to lay our 6-inch flower grid right on top. Now, as per manufacturer's instructions, it says, hold it in place and then add your flowers. That's not gonna do it for me. I'm gonna go old school and give it a little bit of tape. I don't want this moving around as I'm working with it, and I surely do not want it to move around if I am going to move this somewhere. So I'm going to go right in the middle of one of these little loops and just tape him right down on one side. And then I'm going to do the same on the other, just right in between. I don't need to secure this too much. It's just enough so I don't have this slipping on me. Okay, once that is done, I think I'd like to add just a few greens to begin with, and that's going to establish my line. And I do want to be loose and dramatic with this as much as possible. I think wildflowers really do benefit from just being able to let them tell their own story. We might move them around a little bit as we go. And it's a pretty good start. Let's get some of these stalks in, see what they have to say for themselves. Remember, removing all of your foliage. You still don't want to go any more than 1.5 times. This is a centerpiece. And remember, my gauge for the centerpiece is to put your elbow here on the table and flatten your hand. Your arrangement should not be any bigger than this, because we don't want to play bob and weave at the dinner table. That's just rude. One thing I noticed that this one is a little bit of a sweaty Betty right here. And what I'm going to do is just pick this off. This is what happens sometimes in the plastic. It doesn't leave me with much, but it'll be fine. All right, now I want to try to get a little bit more height, a little bit more drama in here. Realize I left some little twigs in there. Okay, I can tell this is going to be one of those things I'm going to need to kind of prop up some of my flowers as I go along because there's nothing on the bottom to hold them. I think I'll save that one for later. Let's put in some of this chamomile. I think that will act as a nice foundation. It's so lacy and so sweet. And I'm just going to put this all the way around. I have lots of it. Okay, and you can actually see some of this crisscross pattern going down and through here. We're going to utilize that to help hold some of our flowers too. Don't forget the middle. Okay, let me do a quick rotation so I can see what's going on in the front and you can see what's going on in the back. Yeah, I think that can certainly work. Definitely have a hole right here that needs to be filled. Yeah, I think that that's great. All right, let's get into some of this Veronica. I love the movement. She's doing some nice talking. Oh, yeah. All right, well, you rolled right over this little guy in the back. I don't want them all laying down flat. Let's see if we can. Okay, before I get too carried away again, let me take a little peek in the front and see what's going on. And then you can see what's happening on the side. I can tell I need something right down through here. Okay, now I think I want some of that fantastic Nigella. It is so feathery, so sweet. Now remember, you do not have to use these all. Okay, so I don't have to use all of this. I can like cut the center out and use little bits down here. Or I can, yeah, I think I'll snip him again. But I can also use all of his height. Very sweet. I think I'm going to snip this one right in through here too. Back here, and you can see where it's starting to fill in nicely. Okay, let's fill in with some more of this Nigella. Look at that, I've got a little spot. It's got to come out. I do want to utilize as much of this as possible and fill in some mechanics. I don't have a whole lot of greens that I'm using in this particular one because I really just wanted it to have very much of a field flower type of look. And I might just save a couple of these little sprigs. Need a quick spin. Okay, it looks like what I really need is something right in through here. So I do have this other stalk. Pop him in the middle. And I think what's going to happen when I get my ranunculus in, it's gonna pop. So let's do that now. Love these, they're fabulous. Yes, that is what this baby needed. I love them when they have the little buds on them still. I'm determined to get one in the front. So I notice as I'm getting more and more flowers in the arrangement that the grid is definitely becoming easier to use. Remember the first couple of ones we put in were a bit challenging because they were slipping and falling. Okay, I need just another quick look about. Trying to do this for you is a new challenge for me. So of course I'm used to designing with a piece in front of me. All right, one last little flower that we have today is our Queen Anne's lace. And I think this is really going to set it off nicely. Oh, it didn't cut all the way through on that. Now this should go just about anywhere. The little stems are so delicate and sweet. Do another one over here. I think I might try to do one that's kind of flying away a little bit. And I need one more little rotation here. See what I've made. Okay. And I've got just a couple more sprigs of my Kimberly fern. So I just wanted a little bit more movement here. Okay guys, let me clean this up, do a quick inspection, and then we'll talk about our grid. So now I'd like to take a minute and review this product. I didn't think it was too badly priced. I think it's $8.99 for 3 pieces. You get a 6-inch, a 5-inch, and a 4-inch. I think my issue at a flower shop is that you would end up with probably 18,000 of the 4-inch and never enough of the 6-inch. But on a personal level, I think they're really sweet, especially for a beginner. They're really very sturdy, but they held up well. There is a different type called a flower arranger, and that one's actually meant to be flexible. So you would bend the little tabs around your container, no tape necessary. I do find that intriguing. Ease of use. It was not bad to use. Remember, it did have a lot of slipping and sliding around on the bottom because we don't have a second layer, but it was still very, very nice. I think some practice would help. And one caveat that I really did like is that I didn't have to use a whole lot of greenery to hide my mechanics. This is really very lacy and sweet and not at all heavy, and I thought that was great. So I hope you have a fun time exploring flower grids. And the next time we get together, we're going to be doing frogs, flower frogs. See you then.